welcome to another episode of Play by Play presented by Win or Lose Sports. Today's guest is actor JaQuan Coleman. You may know him as JQ Cole or Juani. Jawan. From Winning Time. What other shows I want to? Snowfall.
Snowfall, Wu-Tang, the American Saga on Hulu.
Yeah, but he's an actor. He's a sports fan. He's a wrestling fan. He's a comedian. He's an actor. He's a musician. A lot of people forget about that part that you are well versed in the arts.
Yeah, I think we kind of thank you for the intro, by the way.
Oh, no problem.
I guess I've been knowing him the same amount of time, which is interesting. Something people don't know: we're the same age in the same year, which is interesting. But yeah, I think we kind of grew up that way, right? I feel like it was like I try to describe it to people, but it was one of those things where the arts or sports wasn't second guess. Like I say, I got my sports from my dad and my arts from my mom.
Right.
We literally watched everything growing up. Literally from white shows, black shows to everything in between. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's where that comes from. Like, and we grew up playing. Most people don't know I'm a musician first unless you know me as a musician. So you say I'm a musician first, and then I'm acting on the side. But that's me. 14 different nicknames. So
yeah, a lot of Linky, Spider.
Lanky too, though. Lanky,
right? Lanky.
Original way.
Because Michael Morales came up with Lanky because I don't know why he came up with that.
I had like my arms and like and then Spider. Yeah. It was Michael Morales, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Wanye, Ye, Yeezy, Kizzle, JaQuani, Kwani, Wani, JQ, Q, J, Jizzle. Yeah, I should be I'm in a member.
Well, you've been from Toledo to London to New York, Chicago, California. So you've been all over the world, basically all over the world. Amsterdam.
Yep. Yeah.
Travel, working.
14 countries over in Europe.
Vacationing. Even before that, though, before you were working, we traveled to, I don't know, like 14 different, I don't know how, 14 different states, or more, maybe.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Like for real.
And out of the country.
Yeah, it was almost Canadian. Like for real. Like literally, like right there. Yeah, it's crazy. I guess like our grandmother and of course our granddad was in the military on our dad's side. So they were just abreast of like traveling and moving around. And obviously on our mom's side, just the migration and a different type. Yeah, so like
military back there too.
Military there too. Yeah. So like that was like that whole thing. So yeah, so it was weird when I got over there. Obviously, our brother's English,
right?
Alex. So when I got there, it was like I don't know. It was weird. Like it felt like a second home. Like right away. Like I was like, okay, I don't know if it's from being Canada and Toronto when we grew up. People don't know like if Western Canada is very French, Eastern Canada is very English.
Yeah.
Very, very, very like England, right? Type. So also American, but like, the way as far as culture, but it's very English as well. So like, when going there, it was just like, oh, okay, this is, I can rock here. So it was like 2.5 years, I think.
Right.
Which is crazy. Also, shout out to Scott Shock. He gave me he the first person that named me JQ at Libby High School. 1996, Scott Shock. Shout out to him. He's the first person to start calling me JQ.
And shout out to all the Libby Cowboys who don't have a high school anymore to go back to.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like I'm a Bulldog, but I'm also like I play with Dante. I'm like I was around. So yeah. Shout out to the Libby Cowboys. Yeah.
So talking about the art, growing up in the arts and sports, you had an opportunity to put those two together.
Oh man.
Sports and the arts by playing a role in the show, HBO hit show, I don't know why they cut it off or why the ex-Lakers had a problem with it. This wasn't 100% portrayal of the what happened, but it was an opportunity to showcase basketball on that level.
Yeah.
So you played a role in Winning Time. What was that experience like? First of all, what was the training like to become a NBA player,
Oh man.
actor/player, and then how was the experience like with meeting the other
Yeah.
people on the team?
Well, as you guys know, if you know me, if you're watching this, you know that it's pre knees lanky and it's post knees, right?
Right.
It's pre knees and post knees. So like I already got Achilles and the ACL and all that stuff. Shout out to Adon, man. Adon is an amazing basketball trainer, ex lawyer, was our trainer for the show. Have you seen the Steph Curry commercial with the tennis balls?
Mm-hmm.
That's Adon. So we went in there, full fledged, 3-man weave. So the trick of it was that we had to learn how to play basketball pre-modern era. Right.
Wow.
Shout out to Cornell Talley, Uncle Talley, Coach Talley. He taught us the behind the back move.
Yeah.
Right. So
he taught us the old school type of
yes,
the behind the back move.
The guy's
the
name,
walk Clyde Frazier.
Yeah, but before him, this guy, I forgot his name. Isaiah was just talking about him. In the post, look it up and implement it right here. Boom. And you're going to find a clip. But he had that move. Boom. And I forgot what they called him. One-legged or the shaky. I forgot what they call it. But like, so it was those type of moves. So when we dribble, our drills was to, when we turned the corner, we had to either go behind the back or spin with one hand. Right? So we hit the baseline coming back around. We had to do a spin, but it was a one-hand spin. We couldn't cross the leg between the legs. There was no crossover between the legs. There was no crossover in the front. Right? There was no da-da, all that. None of that. It was like either you spin with one hand and then you switched it like Barkley used to do. Right? Or Magic did on the coming up. Or you did the behind the back. But even the behind the back wasn't it was the behind like Clyde Frazier's behind the back one, right? So, but also he was like, this one I knew I had knee problems. So he would say you have to play NBA players, and Ant Anderson can say all of this. You play from the hips out, right? So even then we had to play with our hips up, out, and dribble, but still keep the basic thing. So we did that 3-man weave, and these guys is coming through, and you mentioned Ant and all these guys, they are playing the Venice leagues and stuff. So they coming in dunking. Boom, we doing 3-man weave, they coming down. And I'm like, I can't help myself. I was a point guard, so I'm coming down like, I'm trying to throw, running, and I pulled my hamstring doing our training, and came back, McKinney Miles, I'm running that scene with a pulled hamstring. And so come back, our man that plays Wood Harris is there. Now Wood is sports, hip hop, hooped, but played in a lot of sports movies. So he's there, and a couple cats is throwing the ball in a 3-man weave. Spencer Haywood. So now Cat's throwing the ball. He like, man, throw me the ball, man. I can hoop. Just throw me the ball. Like that's like. So I'm like, he in my line now. I'm about to whip it to him. No look like, maybe behind the back if I can get it. So we coming down. We go one way, rebound. We go another way. Now I'm in the middle. I throw it, and all I see is the corner of my eye is that he missed the pass. I'm like, why did he miss his pass? And I swear this is in slow motion. Right after I thought that, my leg just went, both of them. So I put both of them, and he put his.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
wow.
I don't think he tore his Achilles. His ACL, but I know he was out for a second from that. But so the training was really like serious. Like it was really like, running through sequences, but like getting everybody just in shape. So we literally practiced as a team.
Wow.
Yeah, it was literally team building. Because I guess the point was that we needed to be a team in order to do this.
Portray the team, yeah.
Right, and the brass was never there, right? The guys who played the brass, the A-list stars, it was us practicing, going through our things. So it's really,
Wow.
really nice. So when we got to practice one day, Bus just walks in with the
Mm.
brass. Sit down. It's like, what? So it was pretty exciting. And you had a lot of dope people, like obviously Devon Dixon.
Yeah.
Devon Nixon, obviously
Norm
Devon
Nixon's.
Nixon, Debbie Allen, Norm Nixon's son, played his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Newton, uh, he played Clemens. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Jim, was it Jim Jones?
No, Jim Jones. Yep. Newt Mayenge.
Newton Mayenge played Jim Jones.
Yep.
It was Quincy as Magic was great. Delonte as Michael Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What's crazy is the way they picked the characters, not just the way they looked, but their persona was straight on.
yeah,
Like everybody across the board,
yeah. I
which was
mean,
crazy.
Kareem, I saw, so little known
Yes.
fact, I auditioned for Michael Cooper like 2 years before that.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2 years before that they had it, and they was trying to figure out. I think it was called Showtime at the time. And either I'm at my first in person audition, I might have put it on tape. Came in or was at my second audition, and I saw him come down, and I went, "Oh, you're Kareem." Like he literally had the presence of Kareem, like
Wow.
just coming out of his audition. So I mean, they picked, you know, on set, we was like, "Yo, he looks just like Cap, exactly like Cap."
That's crazy.
It was great, yeah.
That's crazy. So how was the dynamic as far as like dealing with uh the acting part of it and the basketball part of it and
Uh,
trying to put those two together?
well, I think, well, some people had doubles, right? So
Mm.
where,
We know some of those doubles though. Personally, we
yeah,
have
yeah,
relationships,
yeah,
friendships with
and that double
those.
Kahoot,
Yeah,
right? The
yeah,
the original Kahoot too.
yeah. Oh,
Some of them
really?
couldn't hoop though, so their double was like, some of them
Shout out to
couldn't.
Big Sherm. Shout out to Big Sherm who
Yeah,
played a
but
key
Quincy could
role.
hoop.
Quincy Cahoot.
Quincy could hoop, but
Okay.
Sherm, he could, Sherm obviously.
Sherm had the magic size and the moves and all that stuff. So he
Sherman is
had
a
to.
professional hooper,
Yeah, yeah,
as well as an
yeah.
actor now, right? Sherm is dope.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
Sherm is Big Sherm, right?
yeah.
Like just casually just dropping he's in a LeBron commercial and all that time,
Right, right.
right? Other cats probably couldn't hoop, so but the doubles are great. But as far as acting and hooping, it was just like, I think because of the practice
Mm-hmm.
time we put in, and being together like that, and the way we were holding, and I think Nixon and did a good job. And as far as others, it's like whoever came on felt part of the team.
Yeah.
So shout out to Devon, and Quincy was great, obviously. But those cats has kind of made it mesh
Mm-hmm.
as being the leaders. Edwin Hodge was in there. So yeah, it was just good. Like it was literally like being on the team. You had vets, and then you had those who was there already, or et cetera, et cetera. So it was pretty cool. And then all the cats that were like doubling, we all of us bonded. Like it was really a team effort. It was really nice.
So you met Ant on set, right?
So
Ant Henderson. But you didn't know that he was from
no,
Toledo
I didn't
before you
find
met?
out until, shout out to Ronell Isom. Ice.
Mm-hmm. So he
Ice
came out
told
there.
me, I think Ice came out to LA after he
Mm-hmm.
got married,
Right.
honeymoon, and then stopped off in LA. And so we went
Mm-hmm.
running around, and went and did some stuff, some family, some brother stuff, and met his wife and everything. But I think that's when he told me, or maybe right before that, he told me like, "Yo, Ant is my guy. Ant's from Toledo,
Yeah.
great, et cetera, et cetera." I'm like, what? So we met on set, but it was like, what up though? Hey,
Right.
you know what I
Right.
mean? Like that type of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, which is crazy. I was excited though when I found out, like, oh, my guy's from Toledo, like Toledo,
Yeah.
Toledo.
So shout out Ant Henderson, Debo Henderson, his brother.
Debo, yep, Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He played Mo Cheeks. He was the
He
body
played
double
more
for Mo
Cheeks.
Cheeks. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
he
yeah.
did. Yeah, he
Yep.
did. He did. Congratulations
Yep.
on the baby. I might be late, but yeah. Yeah, man, it was cool because it was like, us being here right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? And to see that, it was like, dog, that's dope. And he like running with it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so it's really cool to see, and then to see him go back and get his flowers,
Right.
from school and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
Got the
no,
Hall of Fame. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, we didn't know. I didn't know right then, but like also at the same time, it was like, it's a lot happening, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We're talking with like these guys, and like,
Right, yeah.
it's a lot going on at the same
Yeah.
time. So yeah.
Like when you doing these projects and stuff, like are you yourself? Are you having an out of body experience? Are you shell shocked? Are you starstruck? Like what are you experiencing?
Uh, I don't. I haven't been. I haven't been. Okay, so one time, no, I haven't been starstruck. I don't think. I don't think I have.
You met Halle Berry though.
I no. Well, it's Megan Good, like different ones. Um, I think it's because, like, honestly, like, it's gonna sound cocky, but I uh I kind of imagine it, right?
Mm.
And we from and everything. I'm like, I'm here, right?
Yeah,
And so I think the craziest part is when I become friends with people.
yeah.
That's the part that goes, wow. And
Like
it's not
this is
even
where
so
I
much
am right
because
now.
there's stars or they've done a lot of stuff. It's
Mm-hmm.
because, man, we're on the same path, yo. And like I see something in them and they see something in me that's like similar. And to
Right.
know that is dope. But like, I mean, okay, let me see. Let me see who else. I'm trying to think if you know who freaked me out?
Who's that?
Terrell, the
Who?
writer of Moonlight.
Oh,
I just
really?
did a play. Shout out to him, Brother Sides. This was the first play he wrote, and we just did it with Malcolm Mays from Power,
Yeah.
Sheon McKinney, Alani, and yeah, it was seeing him as this presence was like whoa, just the way he carried himself and like this whole thing
Mm-hmm.
like that. Who else? I think Holly Berry too. Like I was,
I mean, you would have to be.
yeah, I was like, dang, I think I can get her, maybe, uh, probably. No, it's just it's a real thing. Met Megan Good. A lot of people like David Diggs. I mean, so many people. My boy Miles is on Fight Night as
Right.
the main villain, Willie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's that though, but like it's kind of more surreal than anything.
Yeah, and I can attest to that because when I was out there for the time I was there, I've met some people that I never thought I would meet. But when you said, make your way out here or whatever, I'm thinking, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. This is who I'm gonna meet. This is this is the path I want to go on. So I end up meeting like one of my idols, Paul Pierce. Like I
Yeah,
filmed for him,
yeah,
Paul Pierce. I filmed for Nelly.
yeah.
I filmed for Wiz Khalifa.
Wiz, Meta.
Yeah, Meta. Right. We worked for Meta for his basketball league. Like this is what the path
Yeah,
that I
quickly.
wanted. Right, quickly, like within like a few days of me being there,
Yeah,
just from the connections that we knew through the channels that I mean, uh, channel people that we already knew from home.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's crazy. Like, in no way was I trying to be a fan. Like, I didn't take pictures with any of these people.
no, right.
I didn't ask for no autograph. I worked with them,
Yeah.
so that was the treat for me. Like I didn't have to show that off.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to tell anybody. I
Yeah,
experienced that. I mean I was in the same room with the Bone Collector. People
yeah,
who watched and one and street basketball know who the Bone Collector is. I have the professor's phone number in my phone.
right. Right.
Professor, street baller, Professor. I filmed for him too.
And so,
But I think that comes from when we grew up. We knew Kelvin Ramsey.
yeah.
We knew Dennis Hobson. We know Jim Jackson. Like these are the people that we grew up like watching, but knew at the same time. So it kind of not softened us to the celebrity blow, but it made us used to being around people of that stature.
And it was legends in the city.
Oh yeah,
That wasn't them, right? It was like people in
exactly.
neighborhoods
Yes,
that were just like,
icons.
yeah, and big personalities and like stuff
Yeah,
like that. I think was really cool about Toledo. Like, I think Toledo, a lot of times people put a thing on it where it's like a negative place
negative.
where
Yeah,
people hate on each other, but I don't think it's like that. I
it's
think
not
it's really celebrated to where you have to step up
right.
to a certain way,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
And so it's a lot of. So I think also to that point, Kelvin and them, and of course Big Bro Jim and them, but also like the people that we grew up around or that was around the city were like, okay, these people are kind of like icons or big personalities in the city, and and
Mm-hmm.
and you approach that even a certain way, right?
Right.
There's a it's not a false humility, but it's a chill factor
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah. Like I'm chill. This is where I am right now,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy every moment. I'm not pulling out my phone and taking photos and taking pictures or whatever like that. I'm just gonna enjoy the moment,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and that's what it is.
yeah, yeah. Like we talked to just some of the people on set, man. Jerry West, me and Jason laughed hard, like a
Wow.
lot, like just clowning, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh, sure, you get to know him, and it's just different stuff like that. I think my first experience doing SWAT, kind of dropped. I was in that moment, and he was really kind to me, really really kind to me. Kind of got through that, and then he asked me for one take, do Obama the whole take,
Who
or
did?
or Denzel.
Shamar? Oh,
Hmm?
Shamar Moore?
Yes. And so he was like, I paused and he was like, no, it's okay. It's okay. Da da da. And then we did it a few times and then he saw me like working on it or some reason. I forgot what I was doing before we started shooting. And
Yeah.
then this take, I heard Billy, uh, the director, he did a lot of Disney stuff or whatever. He was like, one more take, full Obama. And then Shamar was
Wow.
like, let's go. And I did a whole take full Obama and for that scene
Wow.
as
Yeah.
Obama, and that was one of the moments. And then when I did Snowfall, I mean, Angela that plays Uncle Louie,
Mm-hmm.
shout out, she from Detroit.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's the homie. Uh, she was very, very, very dope. Like, and just saying what's up, da da da. D Ray was cool as heck. Like, just like talking to me like, yo, this is how it works, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
And then John was just immediately like, hey, yo, this guy's an actor. He's from London. He went to
Yeah.
London for school, dad. He's a real actor,
Right.
Denzel type. I'm like, those from that pedigree, right? Wasn't calling me
Wow.
Denzel, obviously.
Right.
And
Right.
then he was like, and of course, Damson is from London. And so I don't know how he heard of that. Obviously, it's his show, so he would. But he was like, he was in a group of people talking to them, like D-Ray and everybody. He was like, yo, why you ain't call me? I was like,
Mm.
you mean why I call you? I ain't got your number. And I said his full name, John Singleton. I don't have your number. He's like, what you put my number in your phone, James Hart? Put my number in your phone. He called me James
James
Harden.
Harden. That's when he was wearing the beard. Yeah.
He's ready for a beer,
Right.
right? Clip. No, but
Right.
he was like, yo, put me on the phone, James Harden. I was like, he said, your mama know you look like James Harden. So I text mama after that. I was like, do you know I look like James Harden? But like, he was very kind, and
Yeah.
he would kick me in Video Village. Like for the whole first day of shooting, I didn't know there was where the green room was
Mm.
because he would be like, yo, stay right here, put the headphones on. Look, let me tell you something, young actor, something. He would just tell me shit, just start telling me stuff like da 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 da. And then every time I would call, he used to text me, and then I invited him to his birthday party, his 50th. And then he would like text. I would ask him stuff. He would text me back. Sometimes it'd be funny messages because I knew the message wasn't for me. But I would get it, and I'd be like, John, what you talking about? He'd be like, man, don't forget that. What you doing? And then so it was like, so those experiences though also And shout out to Omar Dorsey. Omar Dorsey, Queen Sugar. You can go down a line of the shows he's been in, right? Uh, Omar Dorsey, man, this guy's been a big bro for sure, right?
Now, explain to people who Omar Dorsey. He was the guy who was your partner in the.
No, Omar
No.
Dorsey is from Queen Sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the show on Showtime, The Fixer, Liv Schreiber.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. From there, I can go down the road of shows he's been on. He's been on Power, Raising Canaan.
Okay.
He came on there as a dude that was running his own thing, and right, he tried to make a deal with old girl and thought he was fancy, had her even caviar, and he got
Oh,
Omar Dorsey.
yes.
That's
Yes.
my
Okay.
big bro. That's my guy.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he helped me when I was at Lambda. I knew him before. Shout out to Natasha Ward. She
So
cast me on Sex Lists.
At Lambda, he was a student there, or where
No,
was he there?
no. I know him from LA, right?
Okay.
So Natasha Ward cast me. She's casting director, cast me in Sex Lists.
Mm-hmm.
And through that, I met Omar Dorsey, Dennis L. White, who played on Notorious, Tech from the Real World, First Real World. Shout out to Tech. He's a dope DJ now.
Yeah.
But like Omar, and so I was hanging around that crew, and when I went to Lambda, he was just like either it's a word or just if I needed like I'm in London, so I'm like I'm broke. And he like, bro, here, check your thing, boom.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever it was, he was always like right there. So when I did Snowfall, I went to John's party. He immediately was like, "Hey, little bro, da da da, don't ask for no pictures." Da, da, da. He just gave me game about a lot of stuff. Always like anytime I do something, he like be showing up. He be right there. So shout out to him. We was at the Brother Size joint. But yeah, so like people like that, like really quickly, like I understood like okay, this is what it is. Just hung out with Sterling K. Brown, like
Wow.
for a whole entire night. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
With all of them, and not even to name drop, but it's just like you just kind of like as you progress, it'll take care of itself. And it's not about being around those people in that way. It's about like you hear the stories and you realize you're on the journey on the path that
Right.
they've been on.
Yeah.
That they've still on, actually, right? That's the biggest part. You realize they're still on that path. And then you learn game by what they're doing. Like Clemmy can like attest to that, right? Like stuff like that. Like you understand like, okay, this is the path I'm on. These are the people who I've been looking at, and you saw that. You go, oh
Yeah.
shoot. How am I who's the guy that's been doing videos before I was here?
Yeah, because like I feel like I'm filling a space that nobody's taking care of.
Right. Because I think that's another part of it too. Is like you realize what's in you.
Yeah.
At a certain point, you go, "Oh, this is what's in me.
Yeah.
This is I'm with. I can connect with these people with that. Okay, let's. So I think that's
But
part of it too.
I think that comes from how we grew up. It's like we weren't overly privileged.
Nope.
We were humble enough to say, okay, I need to learn how to do this. I need to learn how to do this. And not because somebody made us, because nobody made us. Nobody made us.
It was fun though.
Say, right, exactly. Nobody say, you need to learn how to play the piano. You need to learn how to play guitar, bass, drums. You need to learn how to act. No, we volunteered because that's something that we loved to do. So because of that took you on your journey from being a class clown to being on the big screen. Right? That's crazy though. When you think about it just like that.
Yeah.
You went from being a class clown, like, oh, that dude is funny, to now this dude is on the. I know him. Every time somebody say, like, I know him, like that's my brother. Yeah. Like I know him. No, yeah, that's my brother.
But I know him. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I know that's my brother. That's funny though, because it didn't take for us to say, okay, this is what I want to be. No, we just said this is what I'm doing.
No, it's so funny. Actually, I thought of, and that's facts, because one day I was like, actually, when I started doing this, everybody was like, about time.
Yeah,
that was the reaction. Was like, okay, yeah, you should be doing that, because like, yeah, I was just now. Now school makes sense for me, right? It makes sense for me because I'm like, I would skip class and be in choir, learning how to play from Mr. Dixon and Scott because that was Tanner the Godfather, and so he was Jerry's best right. So I would learn how to play. Shout out to Lapel Crawford, all them cats. But I would learn how to play in his class. So, and then I would be just clowning. Like people would be like, "Yo, that's my da da da," but like, I never knew. Like, and I would tell people, I was like, "Yeah, I do impressions." I said, but my mom, obviously, she does Lou Ross. You gotta have her on the show and try it. Right. But I go, my brother Jesse was the first person that I saw actively being able to do an impression of somebody or something actually. Like it would happen so fast, and you would look at me. I would go, "Whoa! Like what was that?" And so we would like learn to mimic people. To like, so like in
that's
school,
a gift.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So where besides Winning Time, we talking about acting, talking about sports. Besides Winning Time, you did Snowfall. You did the Wu-Tang Saga, which was huge because that's something that people were raving about happening for a long time. And you being a part of that, like we had a watch party at the house.
It's crazy.
This is something we have to watch.
Yep.
So being and you what's crazy is being a part of Wu-Tang. I mean, you were part of two huge franchises.
Yeah,
the
and
Wu-Tang
I would say
series
Snowfall too, because that's the real story of Rick Ross.
Yes, exactly.
Done by John Singleton.
We ain't talking about the rapper. We ain't talking about the rapper Rick Ross. We talking about the real Rick Ross.
Real Rick Ross, Freeway Ricky. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Who was Damson was portraying? If you guys didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Being a part of those three franchises was huge. Like, did that change like your perspective of acting or being in LA?
Yeah, I feel like I can do anything, like for real, because it's crazy because my managers that I'm with now with 3 Arts, and that's Kevin Hart, Robert Pattinson, everybody, Issa Rae, you can name them. They with them as far as management, and I realized I play period pieces.
Yep. That's crazy.
And you go to because the last few years, if you guys haven't seen me, I've been on Broadway. I've been doing plays. I was doing a Broadway tour of a Soldier's Play. 2020, in the end of 2020 through most of 2023. That's set in the 1940s. 2023, come back, strike happens, boom, 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 come back, Brother Size. That's set within any time, but it's written from a place of the old mothers and aunties and Orisha and Yoruba tribes in New Orleans. So there's a setness to it, right?
Right.
A very specific piece of either place, time, or whatever. So being on those shows, it was like, oh man, I can, and the number of things that I've been like this close to calling home about, like literally, it's like between me and like 2 other people or whatever it was, either producers or actually paying for it. Yeah, but those right there for sure, because it was like, I'm a Laker.
Yeah.
For life.
Right. You were a Lakers fan, first of all.
Shout out to Bo, RC. We killed down the line, AD.
All the Lakers fans. Chris Pope, all the Lakers fans.
Chris Pope. Shout out to everybody, man. Like that whole, we watched the 08 Kobe and 09 and all those years and from way back when, right?
So Julius Darrington, who's probably the biggest Kobe fan I ever met, who every time I went over his house when I was in LA, we watched Kobe videos. Like, look at this. Juice, yeah. Every time I went over every time I went over his house in LA, it was watch 006 Kobe. Watch 006. It's the greatest, right? This is the greatest Kobe of all, the greatest basketball player of all time. Just that year.
He says the 06 Kobe, which they got eliminated by the Phoenix Suns. Yeah. Right, we got put out by them, which is Juice. Juice has always been so Juice was Shaq. Remember the pond? We had a whole run, everybody hooping. Best time ever, man. Duke hit the craziest shots you ever want to see. Just everybody was out there, right? Bo. And so like Juice was like Shaq.
Yeah.
Juice was like 6'1", 6'2", just bigger than everybody. We couldn't, whatever. And so,
Right.
but Juice is the biggest. You're right. Juice is the biggest Kobe fan, and being in LA is like it's crazy. Like, so like, and also when I got my first jersey, and I'm still trying to get it, they gave me number 12 as Ron Carter. I have a picture of it. My number is 12.
Yeah.
Ron Carter's number is 15, so I had to make a new jersey.
Okay.
So there's a jersey that says Carter on it, number 12.
Number 12?
They're never going to use it. So I'm trying to get
it.
Petition. I'm going to file a petition to get it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it still. Because it's somewhere in there, like, just sitting there somewhere. So when I do a movie or whatever, I probably can get it. But, like, it was like, yo, I got a jersey that says, that's the Lakers jersey. And it's forever enshrined in, media, sound, TV.
Right.
Right? It's forever. So it's like, that was huge for me. Like, and then Wu-Tang, the first person I called when I got that audition? So I originally auditioned for RZA.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I sound like I'm like all that shit, right? I talk like RZA. So like first person I called was Jerry Hicks.
He was the biggest Wu-Tang fan ever.
From Juice to him, right? Right.
Yep.
Lakers, Kobe, boom. And I called Jerry, and I was like, "Yo, tell me everything that you know about the Wu-Tang, and especially RZA." And he ran it down to me.
Wow.
Everything. And so I did my like weird actor stuff with it. But I was like, okay, Jerry said this is this. And it gave me such an insight. So then I got Be Black. Obviously, found out Ashton already had departed like 2 years before that, which is how it works. Which is great. Shout out to Kim Coleman.
Yeah.
But being on that set was insane. Like we were shooting in Shaolin, aka Staten Island.
Wow.
For like 3 months I was there, 3 or 4 months. And then I had to come back for another month later to reshoot something. And we was at some Chinese restaurant, and we get there, and in the back, RZA is there with papers in his hands, talking to his co-writer, and the Hulu people is there, but the production people there is Chris Robinson, originally a music video director, but also now directs everything. So like he's obviously there directing the first episode.
Yeah.
And so he's back there talking to people, and we there, and so we're rehearsing at the last minute with each other, and Chris is like, let's get a thing, which can happen, what happens on set, boom, boom. And then we get out there and start taping, and the extras are people who knew them, who are children of the people, or some of the same people, or nephews, whatever, or nieces of the people who were there when this was happening at this restaurant. So like Divine, that's played on the show, came in, was like, yo, Bob, yo, you see so-and-so out there? Yo, I had to be like, yo, what's up? Because, him and his cousin, and we was,
Right.
And then RZA goes and interprets to the Hulu people what he talking about. Yeah, I mean, we were shooting that. And then we all sitting there like, what the fuck? So then we go out there shooting, and the energy is so crazy that we do not do anything you see in that scene outside is not the lines.
Oh, really?
It's the story, but most of it is not the lines. Most of it is because the energy was insane out there. It was so real that we were just in that moment. And they actually told me I couldn't say Grimace because McDonald's, we had to get the sponsor, but I knew later on that they called somebody.
They cleared it?
Because they called somebody Ronald McDonald because of how he dressed. So I was like, oh, fuck that. And plus, we were just ribbing. Like, it was like, he had on all purple. There's no way I'm not calling this dude Grimace or the hamburger.
Yeah.
But it was so
Wait a minute. So none of those lines were written? Y'all just kind of improvised those?
At the beginning. Most of that stuff is us improvising. Like, so the lines. And so the best thing,
you work around it.
Do not memorize lines. Memorize the story. And the story you are telling. You know how you can watch your favorite movie and you can quote it and you can defend every point. No, Sonny, he was just da-da-da. Well, no, Tom was like just trying to. Because you know the story. You're not memorizing lines. So that's what you have to do with scripts. You got to know the story so much that the lines come to you. But when the lines come to you, you're more attached to the story than the lines. So then you can improv. So you got to
Right.
learn it, right? Unless it's a TV sitcom, you got to tell the jokes.
Right.
Because it's
Because
pretty
they're
much a
writing
host.
jokes. Yeah.
It's a stand-up bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So we out there and we doing one part, one scene, everybody going crazy, and some dude is out there and he get out of his car, and this motherfucker look like he got. I can imagine what Jordan looked like, the way they describe him, because this guy had an aura about him. Now I couldn't see it, but you could feel
Right.
it. So I can imagine Jordan.
Yeah.
Because when I tell you who it is, oh, they're significant, but it's not Jordan level. So we are like, who's this guy over there? So we in between takes, somebody got out the car. He like moving in slow motion though. I tell you that. He definitely moving in slow motion. He's moving in slow motion. And so we get on the tech, and Julian, he was on a Broadway show with like Bryan Cranston at the same time, and your boy from Alita. We doing all that, and so we do another take, and we doing it. Da, 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 da. We get done, and somebody come up to me like, "Hell yeah, mother! That's what's up. That's just how we looked in the '90s, yeah." We like, "Who the fuck is that?" So we go in there. It's like, "Hey, yo, RZA, this dude just walked up to us and was like, yo, this how we did that." And he talking to the Hulu people. He go, "Oh yeah, that was Capadonna," and then go back to doing what he was doing. He was like, what? It was like that's the atmosphere. It was just like and gross. And I'm sure like, the cast who played on Winning Time longer felt that too. Like we would see people, it was just like, damn, is that what if that was so yeah. That experience on Wu Tang was insane. And that's when I knew I couldn't live in New York.
Too much going on.
Too much going
on.
Yeah, I'm a Cali.
Right.
I love New York. I'll visit, but I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
So that tells people, or that tells you told yourself first that like the range that you have to go from time periods, from the 80s to the 90s to the early mid 90s around. Yeah. Well, you talking about Snowfall was the 80s period, and the Winning Time was 80s period. So Hulu, Wu Tang was the 90s, late 80s, 90s period. So that tells people I have range.
Yeah. And
then doing a Soldier Story or a Soldier's Play. It was a Soldier Story. Those who know the Denzel movie that he played.
Okay.
You played the Denzel part though, right?
No.
Or did you switch it?
I auditioned for the Denzel part. Tariq played the Denzel part. Did great.
Okay.
But I was covering 5 parts in that, so I kind of just had to know the whole play, which is insane. But it's the Soldiers. Yeah, Soldier's Play is the original from the Soldier Story.
Right.
Dave Allen Greer came and shout out to us. Who else? It was so many. LL Cool J. Mr. Apollo Creed himself.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he came and spoke to us so eloquent. He was eloquent. It was great. It was like so many different people came and just talked to us afterwards. Russell Westbrook.
Oh, what's the guy from School Days? Played in the one of the Star Wars series. Played in with Bryan Cranston was the chef.
Yeah. Wow.
Esposito was his first name.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yes.
Yeah, Giancarlo. Yeah. Italian and black. Yes. Yeah. A lot of people came out. A lot of the original cast from the movie. And one of the original cast of the play was with us. It was and that was like late 40s, early 50s. And I would say Winning Time is 70s, going into 80s.
Yeah, I would say more 70s, you're right.
Yeah, because we was like, man, you know what I'm saying, brother?
Right.
And we was like, high five, and like, that was straight.
Right.
We was coming out of the 70s into the 80s, but the 80s had not took full effect yet.
Right.
Because, Winning Time, in Snowfall, they still had the mesh cut off shirts and stuff.
Right.
Which was heck we was thinking, but yeah. Like, what you guys doing? Remember, we had a picture of Daddy with a cut off shirt and a jersey on it.
Yeah, with number 22 on it. Cut off, shorts on. Like, what is that?
Regular. Don't get
right. This is normal. This is
So
how
that's
the
how we do
guy's
it.
dressing.
I'm hooping. It's hot. I need to wear a
Right.
cutoff shirt.
Right. So
No.
talking about the 80s, we only got maybe 15 minutes left. So I
Okay.
want to go into something else, but
Oh, my
something that
business
we
back here.
kind of passionate about, right?
ADHD is a
Right.
hell of a drug.
Talk about the 80s, kind of the 70s, but more the 80s, 90s. We fell in love with wrestling. I don't know how. I don't know why.
Daddy.
He was a wrestling fan? Is that
Yes, he was. He
okay?
told me. I found out he was. Yeah.
So we fell into wrestling. We fell in love with wrestling. Fell
Shout
into
out to
wrestling.
Travell though as well. Cross street from Palmwood.
Travell Lynch. He lived
Travell
across the
Lynch.
street. He was a huge wrestling fan. He used to come
He
over and
gave
watch
us everything we needed.
all the
books, the magazines,
book magazines, and
yep.
I remember he had the Sports Illustrated magazine with Hulk Hogan on the cover.
Yep, the AWA.
That's how we learned all. That's because we didn't watch AWA or WCW.
No,
we knew
and
the
it
guys
didn't come
because
on
of
in
the
our
magazines.
territory. Yes, exactly. Nope. So we had to. It was the magazines that got us up to. It was that was Twitter. That was Instagram or Twitter for us.
Yep, magazines. That's crazy though, because now you get information from anywhere.
And you still
back
can't
then,
find
that's why kayfabe was so important back then.
Yeah.
It was so important back then because there was no telling of the secrets. Yeah. Hulk Hogan was the good guy. Andre the Giant was the bad guy. Yeah. Well, he was a good guy up until WrestleMania 3. But he was the bad guy. Yeah. Macho Man was the bad guy.
The bad guy was my number 3 favorite wrestler. Hulk Hogan
was he?
Kind of put out there by himself. Obviously, he's the guy. He's Jordan, Cosby. I know we can't say that now; it didn't age well. But Jordan, Cosby, and those guys, right? You see Rudy, the thing you got. But I'm saying, but he was like that. So obviously, but it was Bret Hart, Macho Man.
Bret Hart and Macho Man were in there for me. Okay. But back then, because I was the oldest, I feel like I'm Hulk Hogan. Like that's my guy. Like Hulk Hogan is that's my guy.
Well, Hulk
like
Hogan was my favorite. So like I say that as when I say Jordan, right? Jordan is obviously, gosh, he's my favorite player, right? But if I'm gonna get into the thing, Larry Bird is the best goddamn basketball player I've ever seen in my life. Right? Jordan is obvious to me. Like I could talk about Jordan all day, every day, and Hulk Hogan, right? But if I want to get into that detail,
the little nuances, yes, I know. I see what you're saying.
Man, I'm gonna go Bird, and I'm gonna go Bret Hart. I'm gonna go Macho Man, and then I'm gonna go. To be honest, after that, it's gonna sound stupid though. Dennis Rodman.
See, because
my
really?
Man.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I got Jordan and Hulk Hogan. But then, see, mine's is different because between the Jordan era and to now, there was a limited amount of interest for me.
Yeah.
In basketball because Jordan retired, and then I'm like, nothing's happening until 2003 when LeBron became who he is. And for me, it's like that with wrestling too. It was Hulk Hogan. Then for a time, it was like, okay, this is a clown show.
Yeah,
I can't watch wrestling anymore. And then The Rock came.
Yep.
So then it was The Rock and The Rock is my guy. Like he's my guy. And then The Rock and LeBron James is like, okay, they took us into this new era of sports entertainment.
Stone Cold,
okay,
that's my guy.
Yeah. I love Stone Cold too.
I
think people don't give The Rock his flowers because his run was so fast. His rise was so fast, and then he said, "Okay, I got to go. I'm not hurting my body anymore."
To be honest, his peak hit higher than Stone Cold's.
Yeah,
but it was faster.
He exited right away. Like I'm done.
Stone Cold obviously was a vet, actually.
Yeah, he was.
He was with
WCW Stunning Steve Austin.
With his tag team partner.
With the Pillman.
Yep. Scott.
The stunning Bobby Eaton? The Hollywood Blondes?
Yep. Hollywood Blondes.
Bobby Eaton, Hollywood Blondes. So he left after he got hurt. He went to the ECW. That's when he came with this crazy persona He bashed
Oh,
WCW
before
like
the WWF
crazy.
owned it. Before WWE
Yep.
owned it.
Yep. Before that, he was with ECW and took a little time in
That's
ECW
Paul.
to basically the rehab. Yep. Paul Heyman. Basically the rehab and
Oh.
got his wits about him and became the person that he is and went to WWF and him and Vince kind of like ran with it and became the craziest attitude era,
Like you
the
said,
craziest era in wrestling.
he's a genius, but he's an evil genius. And
He's the evil
I get
genius,
why
but
you
he's a
texted me
genius
that
though.
at first. I was like, he's a genius, just like evil genius. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I see that now. Right?
yeah, yeah,
Because he knows what he is.
yeah. And
He knows
he
it, which is
acknowledges
yeah,
what he did and he has no regrets. That makes you
none.
evil. Yeah.
None. So yeah, but I say The Rock, without The Rock, so
No,
you need
you
The Rock
say
buttoned
that.
up that era. If it wasn't
Yeah.
for The
Without
Rock,
the
the
Rock, there
era
will be
would have
no
been
Stone
like,
Cold.
okay, that just happened. But I think with The Rock, it made it like, oh, yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I believe the Rock, without the Rock, Triple H and Stone Cold doing that together, there would be no Attitude Era. It wouldn't be the
No,
same
it would just be something
because
that was like a
yeah, they brought different dynamics that was needed at the time. Like Stone Cold was like f your boss, f your boss. I'm gonna do what I want to do. You know, and Triple H was I'm
the
gonna abide
weirdest
by
company guy I've ever met in my life.
company rules, right? Yeah, but I'm gonna do it this way, but it's still company rules.
I'm
And The
above the
Rock was
company still, maybe.
right, exactly. But The Rock was, I'm about entertaining. I'm not just about in the ring. I'm about entertaining. I'm gonna entertain the fan and make them laugh
And
and
shall
I'm
we
make
say
them
the
smile.
black effect?
Exactly. Yeah,
He
he brought that.
brought it. Like he
Yeah, he
brought the
brought that
Samoan black
un
effect.
unapologetic,
Samoan and black
and people,
effect for sure.
yeah, people loved it.
Yep, yep. I say The Rock. So The Rock is like a favorite, obviously, and especially him as Dwayne Johnson. I was like, this guy is super entertaining as an actor.
Yeah.
It's beyond like that's something that every like you trying to be like, right?
Mm-hmm.
His personality, the way he's developed, but like him and Stone Cold, and like I was a Triple H guy too, right? At first, and then Stone Cold was like, "Yo, this guy's a rebel." Um,
Mm-hmm.
but like growing up, I think yeah, no, like remember like Doink and all of those guys, and I think
Yeah,
D Generation X kind of brought us back.
it did. They did
I think we
because
might
they
have been
had.
like seniors, coming
Yep.
out of high school by then.
Mm-hmm.
NWA was kind of like we watched it, but they obviously overdid it.
NWO. Yep. Yep.
NWO
It
and
was
the
it ran. It
NWA,
had the
WCW,
wrong with the run was a little too
a
long.
little too long. They destroyed. They ate themselves up.
Too many people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many people
Wait,
involved.
everybody's in it.
Yeah.
Like
Everybody can't be
everybody's in
NWO
the
now.
NW. Okay,
Yeah. This is
right.
no longer a
Even
faction.
Eric Bischoff, right? So there's no WCW now. You just
Right. This is no longer a faction now.
that. And
This is
Sting,
ridiculous.
really?
Right. Right.
Sting would
Sting
never
is
give
the
in, guys.
ultimate company man. Like
Come on,
he'll never.
he's never giving in. Like, come on,
Yeah.
like it's crazy to me. So, I think, um, and Bret Hart, as a Bret Hart fan, the Montreal screw job is not a screw job.
It's not.
He
And I
should have
love
given
Brett.
the fucking belt.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I
I
can
love
keep
Brett.
talking on here the freaking
No,
belt.
you good.
Okay,
You
he
good.
should give the fucking
But
belt. Like,
yeah,
give up the belt.
I love Brett and I had so much respect for him. But when you leave a company,
It's that, yeah.
you gotta pass it. But
That's
you
the
know
hard
who did
part.
that worse than Brett, but because of his stature and his presence that people never acknowledged it until after his retirement was Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan screwed so many people out of the
And he
title.
gave the belt to the Ultimate Warrior, which is crazy to me.
He gave it to him because I think he was forced to by the fans because nobody
Oh, in that
cared
match.
about Hulk Hogan anymore.
Yes.
It was like, okay, we're tired of this fruity pebble, eat your vitamin type of
He should have gave it up
attitude
before
now.
that, right?
He should have gave
You
it up
had
before
Lex,
that.
no, not Lex, Sid come in. A lot of people come in.
Undertaker.
Undertaker was supposed to get it, I think.
Yeah.
That's who was supposed to get it.
Right. But
They didn't give
he
it up.
refused to give it up.
Right.
I
And
don't
then
know.
like Vince was so this is the part of Vince that goes, you go, oh, okay, at least he's aware of himself. He has grace for
Yeah.
Hogan in that aspect. He
Mm-hmm.
never talks negative about that.
Nope.
he goes, "Oh, okay, that was the time."
Yeah.
Because he's all about the heat, right?
Right.
Whatever gives the heat, but yeah, Hogan definitely 1,000%. Like you knew it in matches. Like this guy is that's
But yeah,
he's
he's
supposed
supposed
to
to go down.
yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted it back after Macho
That
Man.
that's why in WrestleMania 3 he was so scared because Andre would not tell him to finish.
What's up, boss?
Like I'm not like just trust me,
Yeah.
trust me,
Yeah.
trust me.
Yeah.
Like and then Vince was like Vince told him like Andre's gonna do the right thing. Like what does that mean?
I
Andre's gonna
can't
do the
tell
right
Andre
thing.
what to do. What's up,
Right.
boss?
I can't make this man who's 500 pounds and 7'5"
Never lost. So
never
what messed
well,
me up was this. Hogan was obviously bad when he first came in, but we all knew that, right? What was his name? Damn,
Which one?
Jerry would know. The one he was had all white, but it was kind of the name on Rocky too.
Sterling Golding.
Sterling Golden. And so I didn't realize that him and Andre had fought
A lot of times.
as Hogan being the heel.
Yeah, and Andre the good guy. Yeah.
Slammed him, did all that, and so I'm watching the thing, and I'm like, Mr. McMahon, I'm like, oh my gosh, how
But
did
it
I
was
miss?
never Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. It was always Terry Bollea, Sterling Golding versus
Right, so it never
the
was
Giant.
Hulk. Right.
So they did it on technicalities. Like this, we're playing. I know we're playing with the fans, but this is what it is.
But then I remember as a kid having a sense that there was already a history, even when he betrayed him, there was still a long history that we did know though.
Right.
Some kind of way, and that's where I go back to Travell Turner.
No, I think because we saw times where Andre looked kind of jealous, like Hogan had all the spotlight, and Andre wanted the spotlight, but he wasn't getting it.
Right.
It's like we saw those
stories.
stories.
So good.
Yeah,
they did such a good job.
They did.
I think a lot of that, like, it's great. A lot of that's missing though nowadays. When I say that to say, like, when I see people go, these older guys can't give up their history of this generation, and I go, well, did you watch it?
Right.
Because we watched both.
Yeah, we saw all of it.
And so our parents watched both. And you know who they said was the greatest? Michael. They watched both. Now, I can still argue to this day that Bill Russell is the greatest basketball player ever to play. I don't care what you guys say. That guy, Bob Cousy, was throwing no-look passes, and Bill Russell's high jump and long jump record, you guys can't break. So they were athletes. We tend to think that because they were wearing different shoes and it wasn't in this media frenzy that we live in now, that somehow they were less athletes, which is crazy.
Right.
Yeah. So the next person is Kareem. Michael won the MVP and scoring title in 1989, I believe, was the only person to do that before him was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 1971.
Wow.
So they both got 6 rings and 6 MVPs. He had scoring title. Obviously, Michael could have broke it if he'd kept playing. Okay, cool. But our parents watched all these players. Will Chamberlain, right? Who was probably a LeBron. All these people, right? And they still like, bro. So I go, okay, he never won without Scotty. Cool. Did you ever ask why he never won without Scotty? You know, Scotty was a point guard.
He never wanted to win without Scotty.
He never had to. He had one teammate. And come to find out, Jordan did not like the triangle offense. Hated it. Okay. Obviously, Scotty had some unexpressed shit that was going on.
Right.
And they still played together.
Yeah.
3 championships. This man retired, left the team for a whole year and a half. Played 17 games. Obviously, the 45 Jordan's more like LeBron. Cool. Boom. Then come back and win 3 more. He never had to have another teammate.
No.
This guy, LeBron, and I love LeBron. He's a great player. But Magic, Bird, and a lot of great players are not considered the GOAT.
Right.
And that's fine. LeBron, you're going to have to deal with it. You got to tell your kid, no, they can't sit in the window seat and take it from the stranger. So you go, okay, so LeBron, you had all these players, you still didn't win. This guy had enough fortitude to stick with one teammate and win and have the greatest record ever. We don't count Golden State because they didn't win a chip. That's insane. And then you took your mortal enemy, Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
The guy. and put him on your team, and you can do the greatest thing. It's like, yo, no, yeah, he don't never won without Scotty. Scotty never won without him, but also Scotty was the point guard.
Yeah.
Scotty averaged 22 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, 7 assists, 2.5 steals as a point guard to Michael Jordan.
You know who averages that now? You know who average that is? LeBron. Right.
Like, come on, guys. And here's the fact. And I didn't want to say this. And I looked it up, but I was like, how do I post this? Michael Jordan played point guard in the 1988 season. Doug Collins was trying to figure out who could play point guard with Mike. They needed an active point guard. If you think of it, I don't know, Rod Strickland would have been perfect. Right? Boom, boom, I can get my bucket, but I'm a dish. So C.Del Threat, Rory Sparrow, you keep counting them. All these guys kept coming in, and Mike was like, no. Now, this is Doug Collins and the Stan, right?
Yeah.
From Stan to Doug. And Doug trying to figure out the point guard. Now, because he played on the team, who was the point guard? Mo Cheeks.
Mo Cheeks, yeah.
To Dr. J. Cheeks is like, swaggy, dip, dip, dip. So he tried to find it, can't find it. So what he does was he puts Mike at point guard. Mike averaged 30 points a game, 12.5 rebounds, 12.5 assists, 10 rebounds, and 2 steals a game for the last 25 games of the season.
Wow.
So the guy did the math statistically and said if Mike would play his whole career out of that, he would average 27 points a game. I forgot, 11 assists, 9 or 10 rebounds a game, or 9 rebounds a game. I don't think it was a full triple-double, but it was better. It was like shade points better than LeBron has been as a point guard.
I don't think people realize the skills that Michael Jordan had.
His vision was incredible.
He did not play. He put all his effort into scoring because that was his position. That was his job. He had Scottie Pippen. And what's crazy is when you look at those teams, they never had a true point guard as a point guard. Ron Harper was not a point guard
the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. Ron Harper's not a point guard.
Actually,
he just in that spot.
The whole time. Actually, he played the 3.
Right.
And Ron Harper and them were the 2 guards.
Yep.
But here's the
crazy
part.
Harper, Steve Kerr as two guards.
Here's the crazy part. Jordan actually never focused on scoring. After the 1988 season, when he hit 37 points a game, and then he hit 32.5, and then Phil took over in 1989, Jordan never actually focused on scoring again because he was in a triangle. So all that stuff he had come across everybody. Jordan called it the offense of equal opportunity offense. Jordan actually stopped focusing on scoring. So actually, we never saw how many points he could actually score in the game because he played an offense that he did not like for the first 2 or 3 years of it till they won 3-peats. He was like, oh shoot, this is okay, it's triangle. But like, we never actually seen Jordan focus on scoring. So that's the whole argument too. It's like, guys, like, what are y'all arguing? Like,
when you think about after 1989, Jordan never scored over 60 points, or over 69 points. He scored that 69 points against Cleveland in the regular season. No, in the playoff. No, in the regular season.
Yeah,
because the 63 points.
Somewhere
63 points in 86.
In the playoffs.
In the playoffs. So 69 against Cleveland in the regular season. Yeah.
Jesus.
He like you said, he never focused on
it was 30.1, 29.8. I think it was 37 in 1987 or 88 was 32.5. And then Phil was like, hey, I got to ask you to stop scoring. Jordan was like, okay, instead of scoring 32.5 to 7, I scored 32. I scored 8 points a quarter.
Are we going to win championships? Are we going to win games?
Phil was like, well, can you put most of the points at the end of the game? So I was like, okay, if he hit 16 in the fourth quarter, that means he's scoring 5 points a quarter for the first 3 quarters. 2 layups and 1 is an and 1. A 3 and then a layup.
We noticed that like Jordan really don't take over the game.
2 dribbles and a shot, a catch and shoot, 3 dribbles at the most. Jordan didn't score he didn't focus on scoring, which is like people say that, I go, that LeBron argument is crazy to me because Jordan stopped focusing on scoring. He played within an offense that he didn't like.
Right.
The offenses are tailored to LeBron, and he still can't do it. And he's handpicking his teammates.
Yeah.
Like, we got to stop this at some point. At some point,
you know what?
Intelligence.
I try to give LeBron credit because of longevity being in the league, and he has won championships on in 3 different organizations. But you have to realize one thing:
Yes.
Michael Jordan dominated the game like nobody else could ever dominate the
It's the
game, and nobody else
greatest
probably
of
ever
all
will.
times. Of all
Nobody else.
times.
I don't care what era he was in. He
Yes.
dominated the game like nobody else could ever. If you go back and look from '84 to '89, that Michael Jordan was unstoppable. He could have scored 50
Oh,
points a
you're hitting
game.
on something. Yeah, 3 different teams, 3 different eras, 3 different
Three
ways of
different
I
eras.
played the game. Yes.
Right. From
Yes.
1990 to
This is good.
94 or 93 when he retired.
Yeah.
He was
That Michael Jordan was
I would
crazy.
say he was a gentleman's Jordan because he could have took over the game, but he was focused on
But that was
winning.
the best Mike too.
Yes, it was. He was
Yeah.
because he focused on
The
winning
most
championships.
unstoppable Mike.
He learned how to shoot the ball. He
Mhm.
learned how to be a teammate, and he learned how to win. That's right, exactly. and then he came back as a perimeter, mid-range Michael Jordan who could
Up and
finesse.
under, step
He
through.
didn't have to jump. He didn't have to dunk on nobody, but he he did it
Yep.
occasionally. But he
Yep.
became a different type of player. And people say, well, LeBron did that when he played for those different. It's a totally different thing because
And
Jordan
then
did that.
count the 40-year-old Mike that came back and
Yeah.
played with the Wizards. He averaged 22 points a game, playing
call
all
that-
82 games. Man, you got to
I
hear
call that
P.
I call that the mentor Mike.
Mentor Mike. P and KG was like, bro, he gave me 35. P was like, he gave me 32. How did
Yep.
that happen? It was like 14. He was like, what?
Wow.
Bro, like he was like, yo, too slow, ho. Whatever, ho. Like at 40 and
At 40.
his health. Like to that point, like people were like, yo, LeBron played 3 different careers. He should be that's why he's a GOAT. It's like, no, but he didn't know. Like, guys, but he didn't play 3 different careers. He played one. And
Right.
he's 4 or 5 in the finals. Not even that, I don't think. 4 or 6, actually. And so it's like, I think, like, it's so, like, I look at him as like 45 Jordan. Remember how we
LeBron
was
now?
45 Jordan's like, oh shit, come on, Mike. Man, you supposed to be.
Yeah.
We never
Get
had
frustrated
to
with him.
Mike ever.
Yeah,
We never had to go, Mike, come on, what you doing? You can do
Right.
this.
Right.
We never had to tell him about his own abilities. We do that to LeBron all the time. And I'm sure they did it to Wilt when he played. The most dominant player. That's why Shaq can say that. Because Shaq go, well, I won though. Yeah, Wilt was way more dominant than him.
Yeah.
But he didn't know how to win.
Right.
And that's the difference between Mike and LeBron. And like, it's crazy that I'm even saying that sentence is the difference between Mike and LeBron because that's only a conjured comparison by the media. That shouldn't even be a comparison. That's not even a conversation.
No.
Like, Kobe won 5. Shit, actually, Tim Duncan won 5. He could have won 6, but he took out Tim Duncan and Ray Allen hit the stupid shot. Whatever. But I go, I think like Mike is like the greatest of all time. You can think somebody's great in your time, but the GOAT means the greatest of all times. Who is the greatest? He might be the best basketball player you watched in your era, but who's the greatest?
Somebody who can be compared to or can go through any era in basketball and be the greatest. That's only one person.
And one last thing. Well, when I was being an accountant, heck I was doing, but we studied statistics. And we studied the bell curve. And we talked about the car industry and how it collapsed in 2008. The reason why that happened was because the baby boom generation was so big. And in that generation, they come from war. Now, before them is a silent generation. That's Uncle Leroy them. 70s, he was in the late 70s, 80s. So like Aunt Lily them kind of come from that. They're the silent generation. So they come from the generation before that, where the silent generation did what they were supposed to do. Baby boom was huge, right? So they're buying trucks, Jeeps, because of the war that they were born in.
Right.
So they're buying trucks and Jeeps and carburetors. And now, that generation is huge. The next generation is very much smaller, Generation X. It's way smaller, and we're smarter in the sense that we're smarter because we're before the internet and it happened. So we are going fuel efficiency. So what happened was we kept building, and the car industry is booming, and then the generation is smaller, and so it still looks like they're doing good because the next generation is smaller for a while. But what eventually happens is that the baby boomers stop buying cars because they're too old to buy them. And what happens is our generations are buying Hondas and Hyundais. So you realize, oh, they've been in trouble for a while. We just couldn't tell yet. And so it falls off the bell curve. I say that about LeBron. People think he's getting better or maintaining, but he's not. Actually, his game is diminishing, but he's playing in an era where the defense is slanted this way. And the rules
so he
is
looks
you can't
better.
touch
He
people.
looks better.
Yeah, so you can go through the lane, quick bow, so much space, and there's no real big man in the middle. There's no Patrick Ewing, and none of those people that was there when he got there, even after Patrick Ewing. So what's happening is, even if his game is diminishing, he's diminishing slower because he's smart, and his body is together, slower than the game is diminishing. So if the game is diminishing at this pace, he's doing like this. So it looks like he's either getting better or he's not going down at all, but he is.
He's
so they go, oh, he's the greatest. No one's ever done this. Well, obviously the rules change. So he's going to look like if Mike did that, if that happened with Mike's era, Mike at 40 would have averaged 30.
First of all, the defense, they're playing zone defense more. So the spacing is a lot wide open than it was. And everybody's shooting three-pointers. So everybody's standing on the perimeter. There's no rim protection.
Boom.
Yep.
Like he gonna catch the ball off the rim because Boston shoots fucking 63s in a game.
Oh my God.
If y'all play the 92 Bulls, y'all gonna lose because them horses gonna get out, them dogs gonna run. So LeBron gets out, smarter than everybody on the court. Boom, y'all making it easy for him. If y'all hit people in the lane and if y'all still had rim defenders and shot less threes and had a mid-range game, LeBron not doing all of this. And not taking it away from him, but that's just a fact of basketball.
Because LeBron appreciated that era. He came from us watching that era and say, this is okay. This is what they did. So this is what I can do now. Now that the lane is wide open, is a lot softer playing defense. Now I can do that.
People give credit. Oh, well, he developed a three, adjusted with the game. Well, yeah. Wouldn't you expect that? Of course. That's like basic for his level. He didn't do nothing crazy by doing that. But what he's doing is that he's capitalizing on, he's coming like a freight train. There's nobody in the lane that's going to touch him. Well, Wembyana going to try to... No, and also you can't do nothing to him because if you swing at him, and that's for anybody in this era, it's a foul. You have to let them, like the freedom of movement in that sense, and you can't do nothing to him. You can't touch him. He gonna bow. Oh, he's getting better. He's maintaining. No, he just decelerating slower than what the game has took away the defense.
I agree. I agree. We gotta do this again. I know we kind of ran out of time, but we always can do this.
We didn't get a chance to talk about the wrestling on Meros.
I know. We gotta. That's
federation.
We need to have somebody else on this episode.
Chris Owens. Shout out to CEO.
Yeah, we do.
And whoever
to actually talk about this. But I appreciate your time. I know we in two different time zones, so it was kind of hard to make this work, but with lifing, but we made it happen. We're gonna keep making it happen.
Let's keep making it happen. We keep making it happen. Shout out to Brian. Shout out to Win Lose. Got stuff coming up. Can't say nothing yet.
Ooh.
The stuff is coming.
Hey, check out Jim Jackson's new podcast.
I love
Jim Jackson
Barkley
Show
with the glasses sitting there talking.
That was one of the most entertaining podcasts I've ever watched in a while. Because, first of all, Barkley is very entertaining, and Jimmy is very. He's one of the best guys on TV when talking sports.
Yeah,
talking especially pro and college basketball.
Yeah, I love him. I love Greg
and the Big Three.
Yes, it was that era of hoopers, right? And Jimmy's mind with the game is like, he just he's a savant.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate the time. We'll talk soon. Yeah. Love you.
Love you.
And I'll tell everybody you said hi.
Yes.
Even if you didn't, but I'm sure you want to say hi.
So. I do. Everybody, hi, Mama, Poops, Jason, nieces and nephews, CJ, Alex, everybody from Corman McGlown's, all y'all. I see y'all soon. Hopefully I'll be there for Thanksgiving. So we'll see.
If you come for Thanksgiving, we're gonna have something at my house, so it'll be pretty fun.
This one's always popping.
All
Yeah.
right,
All right.
all right. Thank y'all
Thanks.
for watching this episode of Play by Play. We'll see you next time.
Later.